Yeah. Hi everyone, Enrique Hernandez from Think Coffee in New York City, and I am joined by our amazing farmer partner Jorge Lagos from Finca Santa Teresa in Nicaragua. I am a coffee buyer, green coffee buyer for Think Coffee, and I make about 2 visits a year to Nicaragua, to Ethiopia, Colombia. I try and visit all of our partners. And I wanted to start something new, like a podcast type of video where I can have conversations with our partners, because at Origin is where we have a lot of amazing conversations, real and honest conversations, and I kind of wanted to introduce that to the public and to our customers, to our staff, and so I thought this would be a pretty good idea. So Jorge, thank you for having me once again.
So it's my pleasure.
I know I come a lot and I stay for a while, and
This is your house.
you might be sick of me, but yeah. So I want you go ahead and introduce people to who you are, where some of your history and how you got into coffee, and like the.
Well, I'm Jorge Lagos. This is Finca Santa Teresa. I'm a second generation coffee producer. So I have been in this business since 2007, when I started to working with my father, and this really became a passion for me. So I've been trying to improve all the condition of the farm, the quality of the coffee we have, trying new varietals, new processes. So we are always trying to give something new to the public.
And so you began your career, as a child here, but officially like coffee as a professional, that began at at the university institution, San Morano, right? In Honduras.
Yeah, since I was a child, my dad always say you will be in charge of the farm. So you had to study for that. So I never had a second option or third option.
That's what you had to do.
So I did it, and I was lucky that I really like it, and it became a passion. So that was the best decision I took in my life.
And is that what you studied in school? So it's an agricultural school, right, in Honduras, a very famous one.
Yeah.
But you're learning about all kinds of things, all kinds of types of agriculture and crops.
Yeah. There's a lot of information that we got into university, like a better practice to apply at the fields, at the farms. So it's not only about farming. It's only about to improve the conditions with also with the environment, and to give something better into the environment, like not contaminating, using better products to keep your soil for decades of working, and not just in a short-term thinking way.
Right. Which has been, it might be something, a recent conversation that a lot of people in the States are having, and abroad, in Europe, and all of that. But conversations and the education and knowledge about sustainability and talking about, your impact on the climate, you guys have been talking about that and doing it and implementing it for so long. Is that correct, right? Even you're taught that in school, and this was what year did you go to school in?
The traditional way is to get most of the production that we can get, but sometimes doing that practice is not friendly with the farm, or the soil, of the environment. So what we're trying to have is like a balance, right, where we can get a good number in production, but also giving to the soil and to our farm and microclimate, like a better condition for that. So
because you guys you're taught to, it's not just about quality, it's not just about, it's about all of those things kind of mixed together. There's not just one thing that you're focused on. You're always trying to combine all of the best things together and put them into practice into your own farm, right?
The traditional way of thinking is only to apply most of your kind of fertilizers for you to get most of the return in terms of bags. It's a number that works, but what we have to see is we're just a tiny piece of the entire structure of this farm, right? So we have microorganisms in the soil. We have to keep moisture. We have to have a nice temperature in the coffee fields, a very nice airflow. So it's like a mix of conditions for us to have this farm for more than a century, right? So, but if we do only the people that normally does that, maybe we will not exceed in 50 years.
Right. And so, what you're talking about, I witnessed firsthand because so you acquired the land after, unfortunately, your father passed,
Yeah.
and you took over the land, and you brought all of that knowledge and education here, and in 2018, right, is when you started to remove some of the older
The older
plants
plants.
and start to create more, I don't know how you would describe it, like more sustainable farming,
It's a
regenerative
sustainable farming.
agriculture,
Yeah.
agroforestry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like terms just kind of
You
thrown
can
out
call
there,
it.
but yeah. But you started to put new plants in, take old plants out, and put what would you call them? Like sort of restructure, I guess,
Yeah.
the land.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Talk a bit about that.
yeah. We did like something like a design. Like
Uh-huh.
we started like a designing a coffee farm. So we started from the varieties we're gonna plant in each elevation at the farm, and why. So everything you see at this farm has a reason, right? Why these varieties in this specific area? Why is planted with this density of plants by hectare? So everything is we thought about it. Yeah. And you see it. You see the condition of the plants. Our plants are healthy. Our plants have a better ripeness. Our plants have less diseases. So that's what we really wanted, and we are seeing the results that.
And so you created a plan, and you sort of came up with the structure of what works best in terms of like sort of setting up the new roads for your coffee plants and all that. But how do you select what type of varietals you're going to choose?
Well, we always we had 9 varieties at this time, right? But we already knew the experience with some varieties like Catuai, yellow Catuai, or red Caturra, Maracaturra. So we already knew where these varieties fit the best at the farm, right? We didn't have any issue with that. But with the new ones, that was the challenge, right? Because we never had this variety at the farm. So we read a lot about what's the best condition, environment condition for each variety. But also, we visit some farms at the area. That some of them have the variety, and see how they perform in each farm in each condition. So
In terms of the plant, or you're also cupping, or all of it? You're
yeah, like
looking at.
everything. So we extrapolate and we brought that information into the farm. Yeah.
And are you pulling some of these varietals from local farms? So when you like prepare like the seeds, your seedling, and you start to introduce new varietals, like are you getting it from a local source, or are you bringing these new varietals
Okay.
from some?
From for example the old varieties the farm has, we got it from here.
Okay.
So we know the plant is adapted to this climate, but the foreign we tried to get from the best origin. I mean, for example, Parainema, that is a variety that we have been trying, that we have been planted here at the farm. We get it from the core. I mean, from the lab that in Honduras that they
created
they
that.
create the So we wanted purity, right? Java, we have some friends in other farms that they really are worried about also the purity of the variety. So we get the seed from there. Yeah, and that's how we brought it.
And how has it been since you've sort of renovated the whole farm that you have? How's it been like in terms of yield, quality, and sustainability? Farmers I know are, farm workers, it's much easier for them to harvest because now they have like these nice roads where they're, harvesting coffee.
Yeah, at the beginning was difficult, because you had to sacrifice yield. And it's a game of patience because you had to wait like 4 or 5 years to get your first results.
Yeah, so a coffee plant doesn't see a return until
Yeah, 4 or 5 years, right? So you had to be very, very patient
Yeah.
for that. But time flies, sorry, and now we are seeing the great results. I mean, our workers are very happy for that because they are more comfortable to work here because of the design of the new plantations. The plants are telling me too that they are happy with how they perform here. So yeah, I think it's
Yeah, and it shows. I've learned a lot from you in terms of like, I'm learning so much about like the coffee plant itself, but also it's important that you've created a farm where you're, thinking about the farm worker as well. It's like, you're making it easier for them to work, to harvest. You have like, the design of the roads that you have for the coffee plant. It's like just much easier to manage, right, and maintain.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, I remember when I first came here, some of like the older plants, like it was very steep, and it was just farm workers, to harvest and pick the coffee like one by one, and then like there's just like this steep hill, like it's kind of difficult for them. But now you've created something much more easier and manageable for them, which is, it's not always the case. It's really rare to see someone who also puts in the effort and the time to think about like how is this going to work for my employees as well, like the people coming in. So
yeah,
that's great.
If you create the conditions for them to do a better job or for them to be more comfortable, they will do a better job without even they desire. I mean, it's just they can do it better.
Yeah.
They can do it easier. So.
And I think that's why we have such a great relationship, like, because you're thinking about everyone in your supply chain, your immediate supply chain, right? From the employee, the farm worker, and down to, where you're getting it to the dry mill, up until the point where you're exporting it to us.
Yeah.
And so Think Coffee, like we do focus a lot on the supply chain, and you're someone who focuses, you have a really great farm, you have great quality, but we're also seeing, happy employees here.
I know.
So yeah, that's great, and I really admire that. And then on top of that, what we also do a social project together, and we've been doing since 2017, where we renovate homes for a lot of your farm workers.
Yep.
And so how that works for people who don't know is, so Think Coffee agrees to buy coffee from Jorge, and then we both invert a certain price per pound that's going to go towards that project.
Yeah.
And so the project in Nicaragua with Jorge, so his farm workers live about, like 40 to an hour away from here, 40 minutes?
Well, some of them in the area is close to like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, the ones right here.
But the ones that live far, it's like 2 hours, maybe 1.5 hours. Yeah.
And so these farmers, their living conditions, some of the, like there's dirt floors in their homes, like the roofs need some repairing. And so since 2017, we've been renovating homes for farm workers. And I think now we have a total of 103 houses that we've renovated.
Yeah.
So it's going great. And so what's that been like for you? Like, do you feel like employees, like so harvest workers have, they're able to work anywhere.
Yeah.
They could choose not to come back and work here every single year. But you are, because of the project, because of the conditions that you've created here, you're seeing a lot of farm workers returning, right?
Yeah. For example, we have, since it wasn't our plan at the beginning, I mean, it wasn't our objective, but with the projects, we only wanted to give something to our people, the people who help us during the whole harvest. But now Nicaragua has a big problem with hand labor at coffee farms, just because of immigration. But we are seeing a phenomenon, particularly in this farm, that we are seeing the same people year after year coming to the farm. And some reason, a big reason why is because of the projects. So because they want to get the chance to their homes to be renovated. So that's spectacular because it's something that we didn't expect at the beginning, and now we're seeing something that is very important for us, and we don't get affected too much by the hand labor problem that we have that this country has.
That's great. And they're also, I don't know, they come to work happier, right? They know they're going to be taken care of. There's the project as well. Because we also, you know, like Think Coffee, we admired, like we've started a new project where with each of our relationships, we're verifying and ensuring that our partners are providing livable wages, right? But you've been doing that. You pay more than some of your neighboring farmers for a while, right? And so farmers know that.
Yeah.
You have that reputation of paying more than other farmers in the area, and so that's also great, and reason why they also return.
Yeah, we wanted to create all the possible conditions, like to improve their condition and how they work here, because if our workers are happy, our team is happy, so everything will flow like easier, and not just you go to a job and you have to be 8 to 4 and do this and this, and sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's and not here. I mean, we're trying to always to see this farm is a project like as a team, right? So everyone that they feel that if they do a great job, they will get results, not only the boss or not only the owner, right?
Yeah, which is what happens most of the time, right? It's like the boss just keeps getting, you know, keep putting it into their own profits, and they don't share the wealth. They don't. It's not equitable. Yeah, and it shows a lot. Every time I come here, I'm really impressed by by the environment that you've created. Your employees are extremely happy.
Yeah.
I see the same faces, right? All the time. I know their names, and it's great to come to a place where, there's happy workers.
Yeah.
Like you can
we're really happy. We're really happy too for that. Yeah.
Now, in terms of, I know so you don't only sell to Think, right?
Yep.
You sell to other people. And right now, at this time, there's a lot of talk because the coffee price is really high.
Yeah.
The New York price, so it's at an all-time high. I think right now it's like at 420.
420, like 420, 430.
Right. So normally, like for people who don't understand the commodity market, it's based on the New York Stock Exchange, and they're trading coffee, and based on supply and demand, and so historically the coffee price has always been really low.
Yeah.
I think in like 2010, I think it was like $3 per pound, and that was like a peak, and then it started going down, reaching below $1. I think it was like 94 cents or something, where like was all-time low. And it's no surprise to buyers, to importers, that 94 cents per pound, $1.20 per pound, even like $2 per pound, like it's not enough to support a farm, right? And so I guess in some way, like it's great that I'm seeing, like for me, it's great to see like the coffee price go up. It's kind of forcing people to pay more for coffee, because without the price, reaching a number that is, livable and manageable for people, because I would say like for a lot of, like there's an average out there. I think that a farmer kind of needs like $2.12 or $2.20 to break even, right? But that's not even including like quality and the type of varietal and all of the effort, like, right? And so people have been paying historically like low prices, and it fluctuates a lot.
Yeah.
But for us in our relationship over the past 12 years, we've always stuck to pretty much like a set number. We've only gone higher. We've never
Yeah.
gone lower than that. How has that been for you? Or if you have any thoughts on the sea market and stuff, like,
Oh yeah, I mean, I share your thoughts. I mean, I'm really happy because these prices, because producers finally can get some money for their pockets. They can invest at their farms. Because the first thing is if a producer doesn't have the means of the enough money to invest, their farms will will uh, will get damaged. They can pay better conditions to
yeah,
the
the
workers. So yeah,
workers,
it's
they lose crop.
yeah.
They
So
sell their farm, which happened here in Nicaragua.
yeah,
People were selling their
yeah.
farm. They were migrating to
You
the.
still see some neighbor farms that are abandoned farms. That they used to be a very big famous farms, but I'm really happy with that. I really hope these prices can keep the enough time to producers uh, to get advantage of. And yeah, in our case,
Well, it's also as an incentive. Sorry, like
yeah,
because you made a thought. You had a point the other day. You're like, it's incentivizing people to return back to the career of being a coffee farmer, right? Because it wasn't lucrative. Now it's, because the price is going higher, people who are passionate about coffee left that. But now that it's going higher, they're like, I can return to
I
that.
can
I can
return.
make a living doing that, being a coffee farmer,
Yeah,
right?
and also we can stop immigration.
Yeah.
So because maybe some farmers, I'm not talking about me, maybe some other farmers can pay enough to keep the hand labor here, right? Because we don't want the people live here in the country, and we can restore that tradition. I mean, from other farmers and other communities from the country. So I hope so. I hope that's the same too.
Because it also, I mean, it's a domino effect. Like, it's not just about price and agreeing that, like, you're not, if the price goes up, people return, that's not the only positive thing that's going to happen. If you have people who come back into these communities, work on their land, invest in their land, in their people, it's only going to empower the community. It's going to even improve the climate because they're putting in, proper soil and like
Yeah,
fertilizer and like treating their farm. It's like they're not letting it just be and die
yeah,
and right or cutting corners by putting chemicals or pesticides
yeah.
in their product just to to produce more coffee, right? It's like they're going to do the right thing, right? And so for you, because you are impacted by what your neighbors do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can only do so much and create your own sort of microclimate, right? Like
Yeah.
here, but you have neighbors like immediately next to you that could affect your land.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Right? There's
Oh
roya, there's
yeah, yeah,
diseases
for
and
sure.
all of that if they're
And
not
we have
taking
been
care of it.
affected for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So by having a higher price and all of that, like that's another great thing, right? It's not just about the farmers are going to get money, right? And they're just going to pocket it, right? And then do nothing with it. Maybe they're going to invest in their land, invest
Yeah.
in their people. Even farm workers, right? A lot of farm workers left looking for new opportunities, going, driving 6 hours away and working at a different field, doing a different harvest
Yeah.
and working for another business, maybe. There's tobacco here in Nicaragua that they can do.
It,
There's a lot more options, so a lot of people were working in those
in those
fields,
fields.
right? But now these people are coming back, returning, and they live here. They're locals, some of them, right? Some people are not that far off.
Yeah, because farmers can compete with prices. I mean, there's another industry that have been growing here in Nicaragua, so they can pay well.
Yeah.
And for many years, they has been taking jobs from coffee farmers. Now the farmers can have a better number at their farms, so they can compete and trade and give better conditions to that.
Right. And so to go back to our relationship, and so I guess, would you say it offers you, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it offers you security, right?
Yeah.
It's like how to plan for your next year. So Think Coffee, as I said, we pay the same price or we pay more, right? And we've paid more now. And you feel better with that, right?
Yeah,
You
for
feel
sure.
security for you, your employees, knowing that you have a buyer that's going to buy every year and pay you the same price or more. because we pay more if like your costs go up, if quality improves,
Yeah.
like if there's, right, then we'll pay you more. But we'll never pay you less than that amount.
Yeah, I
Right?
think it's a more stable relationship. I mean, from us and also for you, like as a buyers. I mean,
Yeah.
because you can have an origin farmer. Your quality. You know the quality, so you have consistency. You have the same profile, or sometimes better. Uh, you know the farmer, the conditions. You know the information. So, and also from our side is we know we can invest every year to improve because we have a buyer that gives you enough to pay our workers, to invest at the farm, and make some profit.
Yeah. Yeah, because when, during COVID, after COVID, like a lot of things were happening. Think Coffee had to close some of its doors for some time. We're recovering, we're slowly, getting back to, we're seeing the numbers once again, not all the way, but, we're getting there. But, you know, there are moments where we do have to sort of think about worst case scenarios and what could happen, and I think that's also the reality of it's not always going to be sort of wonderful and great. There's going to be
I know.
like sometimes there's going to be really bad moments, heavy moments. You've had moments where you couldn't like when you were restructuring your coffee, you weren't producing that much, right? It wasn't that much coffee, but you kept going, right? You wanted to keep going, keep investing in your farm, in your land, and in your people. And so I think that's the best that we can do. And I think every time I come here, I'm always reminded that it's a collaboration, right? With the bad, with the good, with COVID, with threw us off,
Yeah.
with you and restructuring your land and losing some income because you're taking down older trees. Like we're recovering. We're always trying to find ways to evolve, improve. But it's great that we have a partner like you where it feels like a collaboration. It's a reciprocal relationship. I feel it's equitable. I always feel like I can count on you. I can trust you, and yeah, like I feel like we're in this together in a way.
Yeah, we are a team. I mean, you guys back me up, and I back you up. So we support you, and you support us. So it's just if you get affected by something, we get affected. If we got affected, you get affected. So if you see some benefits, we get some benefits. If we have something great here to share, you will get some benefits. So we are like, as you say, we are a team collaborating together. So so we have to be in this, not so like buyer and seller. I mean, we do only one transaction a year. We negotiate price and quantity. I can do this whatever I want, but this is like a whole year relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a share insight information, what we're doing, for you to have a better chances or to promote the coffee and to share all the information of the farm to the final consumer, right?
Yeah, which is in itself challenging, but you make it easier for us, right? You're doing a lot of really good things here at Origin. Together, we're doing stuff with the project and stuff. So it's a lot of really great information that I can share with the public. Like today, we're able to have a conversation and sort of let the world know about like what goes on here, what our relationship looks like. Yeah, because it's been 12 years. I mean, I've known you for 10.
Yeah.
12 years with Think Coffee. And so, yeah, it's been really good and interesting. So what is the next, like, what's the next step? What's the next thing on your mind? Like, what are you sort of thinking about in terms of your farm or, your company? Like, what's...
Well, I always like, if I do the same, always I get bored. So we are always trying to do something. If you see the construction of the new building for the dorms for the
farm workers.
for our farm workers, so that's our new project. We think we're finishing this month or maybe next one, and also this year to rebuild another wet mill. So that's our also new project at the farm. And yeah, maybe in the short term or mid term, having our own dry mill, that will give us like the total control of our operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we really are eager to, and we hope to do in the short or mid term.
Yeah. Yeah, because that would, quality is important, how things are processed.
Yeah.
Having more control over that would
Yeah,
really help you out.
no one will treat our coffees better than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I look forward to that. Yeah, I look forward
Yeah.
to. I know you're gonna make it happen as
Yeah, we will.
always.
We will.
So well, I want thank you again for having me. I look forward to many more conversations with you, on camera, off camera.
It's okay. No, it's our pleasure to have you here. And this is your house.
All right. All right. So yeah, I hope to do more conversations like this. They're not really scripted. We're just talking and having honest conversations. Him and I always are talking, and I kind of wanted to get it on camera. So hopefully you'll get to see more of this. So thank you. Ciao.
Chao, chao. ¿Ah?
Bueno.
Buenas.
Ya. Gracias. Mire el